Do you think that's a good use of taxpayers' money? Why can't you and your ministers just tell people?
Well, I think it's a good investment.
Good investment, $20 million to tell people to pump their tyres up. When would you reckon the last time this bird pumped the tyres up?
On our show, since this crisis began, we would have had you on for free and you could have told everyone, pump up your tyres and use less fuel.
Like, how stupid does he think the Australian public are that we wouldn't have pumped up tyres to start with?
You ever feel stupid? Just remind yourself that there's people out there that firstly voted for Labor in Australia and secondly think they're doing a good job. So
I'm not sure there'd be too many farmers out there that would have voted for Labor, but...
Relief is finally on the way for our farmers as Australia secures 250,000 tonnes of urea.
Urea is a big part of fertiliser, lick for cattle. It's a big input in the ag scene. And
welcome to Dollars in the Dirt. I'm Brecken and this is where we break down the finance side of farming so you can grow your operation, buy that next property and build real wealth. Let's get into it.
Hey guys, welcome to this episode. We're going to be reacting to some more videos. A few of these are going to be a bit controversial. Our friends in Labor, in the Labor Party probably aren't going to like some of our reactions, but it is what it is. And I don't see the Labor government as farmers' friends in a lot of ways. So here's a few videos, and I hope you like them. And if you got any others, please send them through, and we're happy to put them together.
This just in. Shit's all fucked up. Everything is bad, and experts agree it's going to get worse before it gets better.
I'm sure this is how most farmers feel every day. The media feeding all this bullshit to everyone. Everyone feels like everything's fucked up, but it's probably not that bad, really. Like, the sun still comes up in the morning and everyone's business is still operating. So be careful what we believe and keep a positive mindset and keep going. I reckon is the biggest thing here with these. I'm sure this is how everyone feels, though. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, managing what you can control is probably the biggest thing. Like being across your cash flow and where you're heading in your business, and by trying to block out these external factors is probably a big thing to keep your mindset positive and your business moving forward.
So, $20 million, it's a lot of money, and people are telling us it feels like a waste. I think this is the first time you've...
Well, it is a freaking waste. $20 million on an advertising tell you to pump your tyres up.
On our show, since this crisis began, we would have had you on for free and you could have told everyone, pump up your tyres and use less fuel.
Here we are, like Channel 7's offering to have the Prime Minister on for free advertising, and he's spending $20 million to tell everyone to pump their tyres up. Like, how stupid does he think the Australian public are that we wouldn't have pumped up tyres to start with? It's just ridiculous to see what's going on at the moment, and they should not be wasting money on shit like that, telling people what to do. Like, just shows how stupid they think the Australian people are by telling them to pump their tyres up. Why do we have to be told to do that?
Hi, I'm Pat, and I'm a dairy farmer. And today, I'm going to use all the helpful tips and tricks Anthony Albanese has given us in his new $20 million fuel supply campaign.
$20 million to tell us how to pump our tyres up. Like,
I've just pumped up every single tyre on every bit of machinery on the farm, even the spare tyres on the ground. And wow, haven't the results been fantastic?
I bet.
Now that I'm not driving around on flat tyres, I'm not only saving money on the tyre wear, but I'm also saving diesel for myself because I'm a dairy farmer.
Oh, how ridiculous is this that the government's wasting $20 million to tell people to pump their friggin' tyres up? Like, I just can't believe that we are where we are, that people have to be told in Australia that, pump your tyres up. Like, I don't see anyone driving around on flat tyres, just ridiculous. I wish they'd just stop wasting money.
Just quickly, if you're tired of explaining your operation to a new bank manager every year, only to get a one-size-fits-all deal that doesn't fit your business, we can help. At Seasoned Finance, we do things differently. We've got over 70 years of combined experience in agricultural lending, and we work for you, not the banks. We're the consistent expert team in your corner, fighting to get the finance that actually helps you grow, purchase the next property, and build your legacy. Don't leave money on the table. If you're looking at your next move or just want a second opinion on your current setup, click the link in the show notes to book a confidential, no obligation chat with the team, and we'll show you what's possible. Righto guys, now back to the episode.
you ever feel stupid? Just remind yourself that there's people out there that firstly voted for Labor in Australia and secondly think they're doing a good job. So
oh, how true. Anyone voted for Labor, seriously. How could you give these guys a good report card with the way we're going at the moment? Well, anyway, I'm not sure there'll be too many farmers out there that would have voted for Labor, but anyway, if there are, we are, and hopefully we're going to see a change in where we're heading with stuff soon, because from a farming and grazing and agricultural perspective, things aren't going that well. Some of the new agreements that have been done, and you know, the fuel crisis and urea and all sorts of things are causing issues, which, you know, it's all not as, you know, the government's complete fault, but we haven't been doing anything to protect ourselves from it in recent times neither. So hopefully we're going to see some changes in way policies are being made.
Relief is finally on the way for our farmers as Australia secures 250,000 tonnes of urea. Indonesia will supply Australia with 250,000 tonnes of the world's most...
Here we are, 250,000 tonnes. We need about 3 million tonnes of urea per year. So and hopefully there's a bit more coming, and these guys have got this sorted because urea is a big part of, you know, fertiliser, you know, lick for cattle. It's a big input in the ag scene, and so it's a bit of a worry that we've got a shortage of urea, but hopefully Albo and his mates have got this sorted and are going to look after us and make sure that the farming industry and grazing industry doesn't run out of urea anytime soon.
Do you think that's a good use of taxpayers' money? Why can't you and your ministers just tell people?
Well, we see that there's heaps of misinformation out there online about what's happening. Some of them they might know about already, some of them they don't know about. I think it's a good investment. And when you compare it to...
Good investment, $20 million to tell people to pump their tyres up. Seriously? When would you reckon the last time this bird pumped the tyres up?
Do you really?
Big government advertising
Because, Tanya,
campaign. Yes, I do.
20
Absolutely, I do. Now,
These guys wasting their time all about advertising campaigns for pumping up tyres. Like, surely we should be talking about bigger picture things around, you know, creating more supply of fuel in Australia. You know, all they're worried about is green initiatives when at the end of the day, we need diesel. We need to make food. You know, everything we look at needs diesel. So are these guys wasting money on advertising campaigns for pumping up tyres is just a drop in the ocean, really, of what needs to be done to fix up where we're heading with this country, and hopefully they get their shit sorted soon. So, guys, you see my reaction to some of these videos. Albo and his mates are getting a bit of a flogging in a few of these, which is what it is. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, and I'm sure you will, because we have been in the past. So, yeah, look forward to everyone's reaction to these videos.
Thanks for tuning in to Dollars in the Dirt. If you've got value from today's episode, make sure to subscribe so you never miss the insights you need to grow your business. And if you're ready to stop being just another number to the banks, visit Season Finance via the link in the show notes. Remember to follow us on socials, and catch you next time.